Hey, it's Rick Fix. Welcome back. Well, today what I'm going to be doing is repairing my ABS cable. This will be the fifth one I've bought in the past year and a half. When I first got into Philly, the cable snapped out of the connector inside the wheel. So my first blame was on A1 Auto, where I bought the hub assembly with the cable included. But after I took the wheel off, I realized that wasn't it. I had my upper and lower ball joints done at a mechanic shop in Aurora, Illinois, and they did not put the caliper back in right, which they did not attach the bracket that holds the ABS cable, and thus the cable just pulled right out. So I went out and I bought a new cable. I'm not too sure if I could slip that caliper through the A-frame or not, so I might have to take off the brake line. So I had to buy some brake fluid and a pump. So I'm about $150 into it because of a shitty mechanic in this Aurora, Illinois facility. So once I'm finished with this video, I'm going to email pictures and a link to the video to the corporate headquarters of this shop, informing them of what type of work they're putting out on this. Unfortunately, when you get a bad mechanic, there's nothing you could do. I should have realized when I was taking my wheels off that the lug nuts were so frickin' tight that it took me 20 minutes to take the lugs off. And that should have been a sign right there. So let me get the camera situated and let's begin this process. Okay, as you can see, the bracket that the ABS cable is supposed to hold on to is on the other side of the upper ball joint bracket. It should be attached here with an M6 1.0. They had looped the caliper underneath instead of bringing it over the top, which resulted in the ABS cable just pulling right out of the connector inside the hub there. So unfortunately, with a shitty mechanic, you never realize what you have until you take it apart and look at their work. So let me show you. Here's how it's supposed to look. See, the bracket's in there. The ABS cable is snugly fit in the bracket, and everything looks good. So let me go on the other side and let's start taking this thing apart. Okay, so up here by the shock, you got the connector. You just lift the little tab up, pull it out, wiggle it out of the hole, and it pulls right out. Take your screwdriver, start prying these things, or just pulling them out. Alright, these T55s are on so tight I have to get the breaker bar out. Jesus! There you go, that's one. I got a feeling this mechanic doesn't know what a torque is. Let's see how the bottom one comes. There we go. That's one. That's two. Alright, just let that rest right here. Alright, so I took the cap off the reservoir and now I'm just going to squeeze these calipers in. This is with the C clamp, flipping the brake pad around. Alright, I sprayed the bolt with PB Blaster. I know this thing probably hasn't been removed since they put the truck on. Let's give this a shot, and I'm going to flip it around as fast as possible. Oh, there you go. Alright, right now I'm just cleaning off the surface. There's 15 years of crap on here. Just making sure I get a good seal with this new copper O-ring and stuff. I'm even going to take a little emery pad, whatever I did with it, a little emery cloth, and I just clean this off just a little bit. And then you take your Q-tip and you clean the shit out of there. Alright, I tried pumping out the air with that piece of shit thing I bought from AutoZone or wherever I got it from. Advanced Auto crap. I don't know if it worked or not. I might have to take this somewhere to get it bled. So let's take the bracket off for the caliper. It's two 18mm bolts. So I just got my breaker bar and a cheater bar. There we go. That's one. That's two. Take the caliper off, or the rotor off, and now we can get access to the cable. Okay, take your 3/16 hex wrench thing, whatever this is called. Just grab a pliers. Wait for it to snap. There you go. And screw that. Save that nut. Try not to get any shit in that hole. And it kind of just pops right out of there. It rained here, so I brought all my tools in. Of course, my screwdriver's in right here. I can pop it out with my hand. There you go. Look at that. All because some a-hole in Aurora, Illinois didn't do his job right. Alright, it's kind of tricky putting this thing in there. You got to give yourself some slack with the cable, and then you push it in a little bit so it's in, and then you push the cable through the hole, and then it pops right in there. Alright, take your little 3/16 hex nut, bolt, screw, whatever the thing is called. Screw it in there. Tighten it up. I'm going to put this thing back together again, and let's see if these brakes work. Alright, I got it all back together again, and I'm back to trying to bleed this damn thing. This thing is cheap as shit, but I guess what I've been doing is I've been trying to pump it so it accumulates some pressure. I get to about 18, close to 20, and then I open it up, continue to pump, and then let it go. Tighten it back up again. I've been doing that for about a good 45 minutes, and the brake pedal's just starting to get stiff. So this thing does work, I hope. Otherwise, tomorrow, you know, I'm just going to get them all. Everything works. The brakes work. The ABS light is off. Although that cheap brake line pump was a pain in the ass, probably took 45 minutes to an hour just to bleed that one line. It still worked, and the brakes are fine. But unfortunately, I had to do all this work because of some bad mechanic in Aurora, Illinois. Chose not to do his job correctly, let alone the supervisor watching over his work. You know, it could have been a pretty dangerous situation there with the ABS cable snapping off and the way he had the brake line wrapped around there. You know, anything could have happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an email off to the corporate headquarters with a link to the video, and I'll leave a little note in the description to see if they do anything, if they don't do anything, and see where this goes. You know, it's unfortunate, but you know, sometimes you just get bad mechanics. All right, I want to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like it, and I will see you on the next round.